and good evening. My name is Lydia Pope, and I'm a proud member of North Buncombe FFA. I am here to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in FFA today. At the national level, there are over 600,000 members of the FFA, ranging in ages from 12 to 21. There are over 7,000 chapters in the USA today, in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. FFA is no longer a small town rule. There are FFA chapters in 18 of the 20 largest cities in the U.S., including Chicago, New York, and Philadelphia. And as you can tell, FFA is no longer just a bunch of boys. Since 1969, females were allowed to join FFA. Our numbers have continued to increase, and today, females hold approximately 47% of our members and hold 50% of the officer positions. One of those being my sister, who served as vice president of our FFA chapter at her senior year, and I am working on going and fulfilling her shoes and becoming an officer next year. Moving on to the state level, we have approximately 20,000 members in North Carolina and 200 plus chapters in North Carolina. And one of those being our chapter in North Buncombe. At North Buncombe, we have approximately 178 members, and we compete in various events throughout the year at the regional, state, and national level. Some of the events I'm involved with are forestry, dairy evaluation, and my favorite, livestock evaluation. But here to tell you a little bit more about what we do in FFA is Josh Mckinney.
Hello everybody, I'm Josh Mckinney. I'm a freshman at North Buncombe High School and a proud member of the North Buncombe High School FFA chapter. I'm here to share with you about our attendances at the state and national FFA conventions. This past June, we attended the North Carolina State FFA Convention. Here, we competed in many career development events, such as Tool ID, Agricultural Mechanics, which placed fourth in the state, and Parliamentary Procedure, which placed first. Parliamentary Procedure placed first, and which gave us the opportunity to go to national convention. There, we went to national convention and competed against 49 other Parliamentary Procedure teams and placed third in our division. At the national convention, we attended the Career Expo, which showcased over 500 exhibitors and colleges. Walking through there, you got the true feeling of the FFA. No matter how big the numbers say it is, it always gives you that small town feeling. And I have to give thanks to our local support, our alumni, and our current local engagements, which go into more detail from Charlie Purpose.
Hi, so like you said, my name's Charlie Burleson. I'm currently a freshman at North Buncombe, and I'm serving as the junior team secretary. One of our biggest focuses at North Buncombe is educating the public on agriculture. One of the biggest ways that we do this is through our Agriculture Awareness Day. At this event, we take over 200 elementary school students through 19 different agricultural exhibits. 11 of these which are put together by our alumni, which is just such a great support for us. They go to so many different links to help us be able to go to competitions and be able to go on trips and put stuff on like this. So we really want to thank them. The purpose of Agriculture Awareness Day is to educate the elementary school kids. We do this through different exhibits such as beef cattle, meat sheep, honeybee production, tractor safety, and other farm equipment. For me personally, this is just a great opportunity. This year, I was put in charge as a freshman in planning and coordinating this entire event. This was a really big deal for me because it really helped me in my communication skills and my planning skills, so I'm just really thankful for that opportunity. Another thing that we do in the fall is livestock shows at all of our local fairs. We go to over 9 different shows, and this year, throughout all of them, we had about 14 different students from our chapter to attend. At these shows, we have meat, sheep, beef, heifers, goats, chickens, horses, and fiber animals. We all typically do very well, especially in the beef heifer. My brother and I both got several different grand champions and other things in that. We had several of our younger students as well as older in different ages of showmanship placed very highly, so we're very proud of them. We also this year partnered with the North Carolina Cattlemen's Association to run their state booth. That's a great fundraiser for us. It's a great way to kind of educate the public while they're getting a wholesome beef meal and being in the middle of all the livestock exhibits. This year we also did the Holstein beef steer project, and Bryson actually was one of the recipients of those. He's going to come talk a little bit more.
Good evening, guys. My name is Bryson Honeycutt. I'm the vice president of the junior team at North Buncombe High School. I got the opportunity to participate in the Holstein beef steer project. So did 3 others at North Buncombe High School. That program, you get a 3-day-old calf that you have to raise until March to the Mountain State Fair. Those kids were on their own to raise the bottle calf, and we competed in 2 different fairs. Haywood County Fair, where I was the reserve grand champion, and Jonathan Parker, another student at Mckinney High School, was the grand champion. We then went to the Mountain State Fair, and everyone that had got a calf got to compete against each other, and Jonathan Parker got the grand champion as well there.
Hey everybody, my name is Jacob Burleson. I am the chapter vice president at the North Buncombe High School FFA chapter. These are some of our current and upcoming events that we're going to briefly mention. Pretty soon here in April, we'll have regional rally, and North Buncombe, as well as several other chapters in the West region, will be traveling to Haywood Community College to compete in various career development events ranging anywhere from parliamentary procedure to intro to horticulture, and all these contests will determine whether these teams qualify to go to the state level contest. We're looking forward to that. We've actually started preparing for some of these competitions. We brought our creed speaker with us here tonight, and in just a few minutes he's going to present the creed in order to get a little bit more practice.
Next is the livestock evaluation. Livestock is a career development event that requires students to judge 8 sets of livestock and give a set of wool reasons. Livestock consists of cows, pigs, sheep, and goats. I was on the livestock team, and we went to various different competitions and clinics where we got to learn. And I use livestock a lot on daily life. I mean, on my family farm, we pick different replacement heifers to use next year to get the calves off of, and it's just a really good CDE to be in.
Y'all can see the barbecue fundraiser coming up on January 30th, but before I talk about that, I want to share 12 words with y'all that an FFA member lives by. Learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve. At North Buncombe, we were living to serve back in the fall when we went apple gleaning. We picked up 850 bushels of apples, and just to give y'all a little bit of an idea of how much that is, that was 1,700 5-gallon bucketfuls of apples. Needless to say, we were all worn out when we got done with that day, but it really paid off. Our chapter is really active in the community and with other organizations, and like it was mentioned before, if it wasn't for the support of our alumni, we wouldn't be able to do that. Our alumni is our backbone. They keep us going, they keep us in line. When we get out of line sometimes, it's really nice to have them. Excuse me. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are today. We're very successful because of them. But the barbecue fundraiser is coming up on January 30th. Dylan brought y'all a flyer around. We would love to see y'all out at that barbecue. We have tickets to pre-sale, so if you're interested, come see one of us. Y'all also received a paper about the new heifer chain program North Buncombe starting. Our alumni is sponsoring that as well, starting here in the coming weeks. Through an interview process, a student will be selected and they will receive a heifer. They are responsible to raise that heifer, show that heifer, and when it's reached maturity, they will be responsible to have it AI. Once that heifer has her first calf, the calf will be donated back to the chain, and the next student will receive it. We're really excited about that. It's going to be a great opportunity for these kids, and we're hoping that maybe throughout the coming years, if we just get one student interested enough to where they become a beef producer, then it was well worth it, and maybe that would be a career path that they follow the rest of their life. Again, we want to thank y'all for giving us the opportunity to speak here tonight. I know we've thrown a lot at you, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask myself or any of these other guys, and we'll be glad to answer any questions you have. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Gillespie. He's going to share some other things he's done. Thank you.
All right. It's all right, everyone. I'm going to stand back here instead of making my way to the front. Again, I want to echo what Jacob said. Thank you for thinking of the young people at North Buncombe FFA, giving them an opportunity to come present, put together a presentation on their own, practice that presentation, then get up in front of several folks that they don't know. That's a skill that will become invaluable to them as they become go into the workforce, go to job interviews, scholarship interviews, and we thank you guys for thinking of us in that capacity. This group of students, this isn't our officers. Some of these guys are officers, some of them are FFA members, several of them are freshmen and sophomore, have a junior or two. They got together and this is what they wanted to talk about. They chose these topics to put in here and to share with you guys about their involvement in agriculture education. Through agriculture education and our FFA program, these students are able to see what it takes to produce the food and fiber that feed our country and clothe our country. And through different groups, I want to recognize our sponsors over here on the banner. That one banner, it got a little dirty and it got cleaned with the wrong solution. We learned that lesson at the Mountain State Fair, but we won't do that anymore. Through our sponsors, we're able to have some invaluable experiences in our ag program, an opportunity to go out, do some farm visits. We've been out and treated feeder calves. We've been out and trimmed hooves on goats and vaccinated goats. We've done a little bit of everything in the community, and thanks to our sponsors up here, that brings that to life for these students. The best place for a young person to learn is with something in their hands, when they're doing something. In my personal opinion, you don't have to tell my administrators this, but a textbook isn't the best place to learn. You know, we really appreciate that opportunity to get out of the classroom and go. I do want to draw some attention back to the papers. I think there's probably maybe 2 to 3 papers on each table talking about our beef heifer chain program. This is an idea that was brought to me from our alumni. They said, we want to do this for the kids at North Buncombe. Right now, the students at North Buncombe are focused on livestock. Not to say that the horticulture industry isn't important. Just right now, the kids want to learn about animals. So we're focusing on that right now. They come to me and said, we want to put a heifer in the home of one of these students. We want them to learn what it's like to have to take care of these calves, vaccinate them, treat them, worry about getting them bred, keeping up with them when they start showing calves start showing signs of calving. See, I told you guys when I was to mess up tonight, it was me. They was a little nervous, so I tried to blame it on myself. But you know, they wanted the kids to have that opportunity. And through this heifer chain program, we hope to get this started this spring. There's some pretty strict guidelines in this packet right here. The committee that's put together come up with that packet, and we're trying to get it out to beef producers, local community members that might be willing to help our chapter get this started. We've opened up a checking account through our alumni group that is dedicated 100% to the beef heifer chain. All the money that goes into that checking account can only be used for the beef heifer chain program. And we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for sponsors to help us get this done. As I look around the room, I've called a few of you already, and you know about it. But you can elbow your buddies and say, we need to help those guys out today. And we're going to have a banner made especially for the beef heifer chain, to when that heifer goes to livestock clinics, shows, competitions, things of that nature, that banner goes with that heifer, and it recognizes those sponsors that helped us purchase that initial heifer and get that heifer chain program started. The sponsorship level that we're requesting is open to you guys as producers. We're starting out at $100 to get on the banner. We've had some producers that wanted to do more than that, and we definitely won't turn that away. I don't want this to come across as we're begging money, but I want you to know that we have young people that are interested in the beef business. The question was asked to me by one of our supporters, said, well, Mr. Gillespie, how many kids are actually interested in having a heifer, housing a heifer, breeding a heifer, and getting into it? I really think that on January 22nd at that mandatory meeting, I'll have 5 to 7 families there after pursuing that one heifer. So that's kind of the interest level we have at North Buncombe right now. So just keep that in mind as you run through this. If you see something in this application process that you think is left out or needs to be tweaked, we want this program to be successful for years to come. We're not necessarily focused on a bunch of heifers the first year. If it's one heifer from here on out, but it's quality, that's what this committee wants. They want this committee or this program to truly give students an opportunity to learn about the beef business. Another question that's not addressed in that handout is, are you buying show heifers and putting show heifers in the kids' home, or are you buying productive heifers? The committee has answered that question by saying we're going to purchase a productive heifer that can go breed and do her job, but when that kid is in the show ring in a commercial class, or even if it's a purebred heifer, they're not going to stand bottom of the class. A respectable heifer that any of us as cattlemen would be glad to have on our truck and trailer as we were riding down the road. So I hope that kind of answers that question. In answering that question, I brought up the third question: what kind of heifer are you going to buy? Might be commercial, might be purebred. It's going to depend on finding a quality heifer that's going to be natured to where it can go to a beginner's house. So we've got a lot of things to put into that formula, and we're open to suggestions and ideas. We've had a couple producers say, if you get ready, please come by and look at our heifers. We might be able to help you out a little bit on that purchase price as well as supporting your program. Talked a whole lot, don't want to ramble on, but if you're interested in supporting these students, let me know. I need those names by about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week so we can have our banners made before our barbecue on January 30th. We do the banners before that barbecue because we'll have several thousand people come to our gym and cafeteria that night. We want to get our sponsors recognized at that barbecue fundraiser, and we hope you'll come meet with us as well that night. I want to recognize these students. I can't take any credit for what you saw, what you heard. They started putting this together Tuesday afternoon after school. When I got my email on Tuesday, they worked after school Tuesday, they worked before school Wednesday, after school Wednesday, and before school this morning. And it's come a long ways. It's come a long ways, and I commend them for being willing to volunteer their time, number one. Number two, come talk to people they don't know, and not all these guys are cow people either. So we've even got a goat producer up there, but I won't point her out in the middle. But they won't throw rocks at you, I promise. Okay. But I want to recognize them for their hard work. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay. These guys are going to be around after your meeting. I'd encourage you to maybe talk to them, ask them some questions. They may get a little nervous and may act like they don't want to talk to you. Make them talk to you. They need to do that. They need to be able to communicate with others. We're going to wrap up by letting Mr. Caleb Burnett. He's a freshman at North Buncombe. He's going to present the FFA creed for us, and we're trying to get him up in front of groups as often as we can, as he'll be competing at the regional rally. And we hope we can win that regional rally contest and go on to the state convention. And just to tell you a little bit about Caleb, public speaking and getting in front of people is not his comfort zone. Is not his comfort zone. He's soft-spoken and very memorable young man. So I'm proud of him for getting out of that comfort zone. And he's been working with Mr. Daniel Alvey, a student teacher that's with me right now from NC State University. So we're going to let him practice a little bit. And then Mr. Mike will be done at that time, and we'll turn it over to one of you guys.
I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturalists, in the promise of better days through better ways. Even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, and I hold an inborn fondness for which those associations, and even an hour's discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership in ourselves, respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly, with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and the ability of progressive agriculturalists to serve our own and public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging, more power in bargaining, in the life abundant enough, honest wealth to help make it so. For others, as well as myself, in less need for charity, but more of it when needed. Being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that the American agriculture can and will hold to the true and best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community which will stand solid for my part in that expiring task. Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Well, you graduated here. I'm in college. Yes.
Let's give this FFA class another big hand. Mr. Gillespie is doing one fine job with these kids. He's doing a super job with them. And they'll just keep coming. And I used to be in the FFA. I still have my FFA jacket. I can still wear it. If I put my arms in, it likes feet. We sure appreciate that as a mighty fine program. Did everybody get a calendar and a committee sheet handed out to them? You need one? Oh, I got them.
Hey, who didn't sign my sign-in roster?
I did. Not before I leave. Neil, can you give us an update on the bull sale?
You let me do it.